wants to be king!
What's up, guys? It's Todd the Middle-Aged Viking here for the very exciting, highly anticipated Conquering Man Boobs Part 2. So, as I said before, we're going to get into the diet piece of this, pretty heavy in episode 2. But first, I had a couple of people reach out to me and ask me to outline or demonstrate some alternative exercises as opposed to what was in episode 1. Why? Shoulder pain and injury. The biggest complaint was with the flat bench press. I get it, I understand it, I've had it myself. So we're going to take you to the gym real quick and we're going to demonstrate 3 alternative exercises as opposed to the ones you saw in episode 1. Then we're going to come back and we're going to talk all about diet and a little bit of cardio. I know, relax. I didn't say a lot of cardio, I said a little bit of cardio. So let's get to the gym. Here we are on the decline barbell press, guys. I think this one takes the pressure off your deltoids, hence the pain out of your shoulder. A couple things to remember. Keep that weight enough so the last 2 or 3 reps are really challenging. That way you can elicit enough hypertrophy out of your pecs to increase their overall size. And make sure those hooks you put the bar on are on the right height. It's really important. You're at a bit of a disadvantage here, so you don't want to injure yourself by having the wrong bar height. This one's called the pec deck, guys, and the reason I picked this one is just basically how the machine is weighted and how it pulls against your body. It comes from a higher point, so it does feel better on my shoulders. However, it's basically the same exercise as a fly or a cable. It's just, it feels different. It does take some pressure off the shoulder and allows you to really give you a good stretch and a good contraction in the pecs. You'll see at the end of the contraction, I still hold it for a half a second or so and squeeze those pecs as hard as I can to get the most out of this exercise. This is the hammer strength incline press machine. So here, you're not racking and unracking a bar, so that can save some of your shoulder pain all in itself. It's also very guided and supported. However, there's a really good range of motion here, so you do get a really good contraction. This pretty much stays at the higher rep range, and I do a little variant of a single-sided press at the end. I think you'll find that I get a better range of motion when I do one side at a time. You can throw that in at the end if you want or not. It's really up to you. It's kind of optional, but it does really give you a much higher rate of contraction opposed to doing it two-handed. And we're back. Isn't movie magic wonderful? So I hope those exercises allow you guys to focus on building the pecs and less on what hurts. I seriously do. So let's dive into the diet. So what I said to get rid of man boobs, again, increase your pecs, decrease your body fat. How are we going to decrease body fat? We're going to look at the diet. We're going to look at cardio. Let's keep it simple here, guys. Let's not overcomplicate this. I did a little research, and I'm going to cite my sources. Harvard Medical says, in order to maintain your body weight, eat 15 calories per pound of body weight. That will maintain your weight. So it doesn't take a rocket scientist to say, well, if I want to lose weight, perhaps I should use 14 or 13 calories per pound of body weight. And vice versa. If you want to gain weight, 16 or 17. Don't go crazy. I wouldn't go crazy. Not my recommendation. I think you start small and then add or modify as you need to. Okay, so let's just say you've done your math. And your magic number is 2,000 calories. So what do the macros look like? Well, there's another ratio out there that has been proven to increase the production of muscle mass and decrease body fat. It's the most productive ratio, and it is 40, 30, 30. So 40% of your calories should come from protein, 30% should come from carbohydrates, and 30 should come from fat. Okay, great. So how do you figure that out? Okay, well, here's 2,000 calories, right? And 40% of them need to come from protein. 40% of 2,000 is 800. All right, so we 800 calories from protein. How many grams is that? Well, now it would be important to know how many calories are in each gram of protein, fat, and carbohydrates. Here's the answer. Protein is 4, carbohydrates is 4, fat is 9. So if you need 800 calories from protein, divide that number by 4, and that will leave you with a number of grams. That should leave you with about 200. Some of you out there, after doing your math, might be saying, hey, isn't eating that much protein going to damage my kidneys? Well, according to the research, that's total baloney. The only time a high protein diet has been shown to do damage to the kidneys under medical research is when there was underlying kidney disease there in the first place. So what does that say? Well, if you're a normal person with normal functioning kidneys, eat the protein, it's not going to hurt you. That's what the research says. So now we're going to talk about some carbs and some fats. Like I said in a video or two ago, I think, my personal opinion, is that where you get your nutrients from is important. Now, you can get all your carbs from Pop-Tarts. Do I think you'll look great after the process? Probably not. So I guess what I'm trying to say is that I think everybody knows what's good food, what's bad food at this point. I think everyone has pretty much been made aware of that. So what I'm saying is what I recommend and what I do for myself is I look at what I like to eat, what I think tastes good, what I would continue to eat, what I might even look forward to. And I break those things down to make it to my plan. It's not a diet. People who don't succeed diet and exercise, right? Long term. They diet. They're not successful if they diet and exercise. People that are long term successful eat and train. They figure out how to eat for what they want to get, and they figure out how to train for the results they want. So I don't want to be cliche here and say this is a lifestyle change, but it is going to be a lifestyle change. The definition of insanity is to repeat the same process and expect a different result. So if you're like the typical American male who skips breakfast a lot, eats a moderate lunch and goes home and pigs out for dinner and goes home or goes to bed with acid indigestion, reflux and the shits, well, guess what? You're probably not going to achieve your goals continuing to do that. What I normally recommend for myself, and I've seen other people do this with great amount of success, is to eat 4 to 6 times a day. Why? Well, it stabilizes your blood sugar for one, and you can pretty much guarantee that you've got enough amino acids and protein to continually recover muscle throughout the 24-hour period. That's what it's all about, recovery and the rebuild. So like I said, my recommendation to you is to figure out what you like to eat, what you would eat, what you look forward to eat, and work those things in. There's plenty of apps out there on your phone or your Apple device that will tell you what the breakdown for nutrition facts are for whatever it is you could possibly think of. Spend a little time working out how to fit that into the plan. If you pick food that you like, you're probably going to stick to it, and that's what's important here, consistency. So now let's talk about cardio. That's a big word everyone hates. All right, I'm going to be the first one to tell you, cardio sucks. I don't like it. It's not fun. Some people are born to run and they love it. Good for you. I wish I was like you. I'm just not. I find running boring. I find stair mill boring. I find all forms of cardio boring. So how do we conquer that? Well, there's 2 ways of doing it. Finding alternative forms of cardio that you find enjoyable. Maybe it's pushing a sled. Maybe it's hiking. Maybe it's something. Or you can just bite the bullet and accept the fact that you're going to have to do some cardio to torch that fat. Here's what I recommend and what I do for myself, and it's working right now because I'm currently trying to lean out. Cardio, I do 15 minutes a day, but I do it 6 times a week. I do my normal weightlifting workout, and then I hit the stair mill for 15 minutes after every workout. It's not huge, it's not overbearing, but what it does at the end of the week essentially gives me about 2 hours or so, or excuse me, an hour and a half of total cardio. I get my heart rate up to 80% of my max, stay in the fat burning zone for 10 or 15 minutes after every workout. So I think if you give yourself a good 90 minutes of hard weight training, and you bring that cardio at the end for 15 minutes or so, 5 to 6 days a week, and you're on a good eating plan, I think you're going to see dramatic results. Try it out. So if it does work for you, I would love to hear from you. I'd love you to reach out to me and say, you know what, I started this, Here's where I was. Here's where I am. Show me your progress. If it helps you, I want to know. If there's anything else I can do for you, please reach out to me. You can DM me on Instagram. You can email me at middleagedvikingtv at gmail.com, or you can comment on this video. I am open to feedback, even if it's negative. So, if this video was useful to you, I'd ask you to give it a like. I'd ask you to give it a share. I'd ask you to subscribe to my channel. One last thing I want to talk about. In the next coming videos, I'm going to be showing you guys something to do with supporting veterans. It's very important to me. Let's face it, we're Americans. We can't do what we want to do without freedom. And those are the guys that secure that freedom. So in the coming videos, I'm going to outline a program that's out there to help veterans get back into the gym, get back in shape, and for gyms around the country to show its support. So stay tuned. I'm going to give you the details in the next video about that. But if you do see a veteran, please shake their hand and thank them for their service. Until then, Middle-Aged Viking, signing out.